Senator Wang.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is to Senator Birmingham, representing the Minister for the Environment. In my engagement with communities relating to the need to balance economic development with minimizing environmental harm, community confidence is key to progress. Will the Minister confirm that in his request for advice to the IESC, dated 26 February 2015, relating to the Watermark project, he stated that the advice sought from the IESC in April 2013, 2 months prior to the enacting of the water trigger amendment, met the legal requirements of the EPBC water trigger?
The Assistant Minister for Education and Training, representing the Minister for the Environment, Senator Birmingham.
Thanks, Mr. President, and thank you, Senator Wong, for the question. And given your question contains some information or requests for some very specific information, thank you for a little prior warning on the question. Of course, as you and I'm sure many other senators are aware, the Minister for the Environment, Mr. Hunt, has stopped the clock on the Watermark coal project to seek further information from the Independent Expert Scientific Committee on Coal Seam Gas and Large Coal Mining Development. This will ensure that the most up-to-date scientific information is utilised for the assessment of the project under our national environmental laws. This, of course, follows Minister Hunt taking the step of visiting the area and listening to the concerns of farmers. You should try listening sometime too, Senator Cameron.
Order on my left, and to the chair, Senator Birmingham.
Thank you, Mr. President. This, of course, follows Minister Hunt visiting the area and listening to the concerns of farmers and Indigenous leaders and others, and, of course, wanting to ensure those concerns are respected and responded to by ensuring we provide the best available scientific information in relation to assessing this project under the national environmental laws. The Minister's recent request for additional advice from the IESC in relation to the Watermark project is to ensure we have that most up-to-date scientific information. I am advised that the advice provided by the IESC, and this is directly relevant to your question, Senator Wong, that advice provided by the IESC in 2013 did meet the legal requirements for seeking advice under the EPBC Act.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Wong, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. President. Could the Minister explain how this advice could meet the legal requirements of the water trigger, given that former Minister Burke wrote to the IEIC on the 12th of March 2013 and withdrew any referral of the Watermark project to the IESC pending the amendment of the EPBC to include the water trigger in June that year?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. And whilst, as I understand it, Senator Wong is correct in terms of that letter, I am advised that an amended request by the then Minister for the Environment, Mr. Tony Burke, was submitted to the IESC on 17 April 2013 after the original request had been withdrawn. The amended request included reference to the water trigger because the legislation had been introduced into the Parliament by that stage. And the amended request was submitted to ensure that the IESC advice to be provided did include consideration of that trigger, that water trigger that was before the Parliament at that time.
Thank you, Minister. Final supplementary question, Senator Wong.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the Minister confirm that he or his agency contacted the Watermark project manager in October 2013 to inform him that the project would be a controlled activity under the water trigger, and that no further contact has been made regarding the IESC until last week?
Minister.
Thanks, Mr. President. I can confirm that Minister Hunt issued a notice on the 24th of October 2013. Of course, that was one of the first acts he took as the Minister for the Environment, notifying the proponent of the Watermark coal project and, of course, the public that the water trigger would be applied to the project. The notice was published on the Department of the Environment website, as is normal practice. No contact has been made with the IESC since they provided their advice, which again is standard practice. The project was going through the New South Wales approval system until the final Planning Assessment Commission report was provided to the Commonwealth on the 29th of January this year. This is when the Commonwealth assessment recommenced, and of course, as I indicated in answer to the first part of the question, subsequent to that, the Minister has taken the step of stopping the clock on this project to ensure that the most up-to-date and relevant IESC advice is taken into account as it is considered, so that we have the most robust scientific information to make an informed decision.
The question has expired. Senator Wang.
Mr. President, I seek leave to table documents related to my questions.
Is leave granted? There being no objection, leave is granted, Senator Wang. So I gather you're tabling that document now, Senator Wang. Thank you.